sports.
We are Black Horse. We are Minnesota.
This Sunday, Twins and Mariners game is brought to you by Super America. Get your Not-Whole Kids Day vouchers at any local Super America. Beautiful day in downtown Minneapolis. Fans filing in. Another large crowd expected as the Twins end their 9-game homestand today against the Seattle Mariners. And it's an important game for the home team as you see the Minnesota Twins still in control of their destiny as we are into the month of August, trying to punch their ticket to the postseason. Welcome inside Target Field. It's a sultry Sunday afternoon. Like all series long, a perfect day or night for baseball today as the Twins wrap it up and head north of the border. They've got momentum after a wild finish to last night's game. Going to the ninth, trailing 2-1. Leadoff hitter Miguel Sano laces a double down the right field line. And the Twins got something cooking. Big smile on his face. Shane Robinson scores on a wild pitch. And that sets it up. Kurt Suzuki, 2 outs, winning run in scoring position. He gets the single out the left side, and the walk-off single makes the Twins winners. And we talked to the manager, Paul Molitor, earlier today about carrying that momentum over to this afternoon's game.
You just walked through the clubhouse this morning, and you sense a different mood that it would probably be if we hadn't been able to find a way to come back and get those couple runs last night. But you still got to go out there and play. We're facing a guy that historically has given us a lot of trouble. And, I know we have different people and we're at different places, different times. But, you got to be cognizant of the fact that this guy has pitched well against the Twins, and he's probably pretty confident. So hopefully we can use what happened last night as a little bit of a booster for us to go out there and have a good game today.
Twins can win the series today, but runs have been hard to come by in this matchup with the Mariners. When we come back, Dick Bramer and Jack Morris with how the Twins can jumpstart the offense and head on the road. A happy baseball team, the Twins and the Mariners, coming up next from Target Field.
by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. The Twins will wrap up the homestand hoping to pick up their first series win since the All-Star break. Hisashi Iwakuma will start for the Seattle Mariners, and Mike Pelfrey will try to pick up his first win in nearly 2 months. And we welcome you to Target Field. Dick Raymer along with Jack Morris. The first half of the season for the Twins was marked with both hot and cold spurts from the lineup in terms of run production, and we've already seen that trade in the second half as well.
No question about it, and that's the nature of this game. Sometimes the offense is going to show up and they're going to look like world beaters, and then you're going to go into some good pitching. Good to see Brian Dozier get going. It's always nice to see Eddie Rosario, Aaron Hicks, Miguel Sano. The younger guys have really done their part here in the second half. But consistency is what Paul Mahler is looking for. Every once in a while, you'll run into a great pitcher. Taijuan Walker did a great job against the Twins, threw a one-hitter. You got to just tip your hat to him and say, we're going to play the game again tomorrow. And Mike Montgomery battled himself in the second game of the series, and today we're going to see if the Twins can win the series with Pelfrey on the mound.
Well, the Mariners have had some offensive issues as well, but they do not begin with Nelson Cruz, who's proven once again this year to be one of the better hitters in the game, particularly, it seems, against the Twins.
Well, he's having just a great year offensively for the Mariners, and you can see that he's covering all quadrants of the plate. He doesn't seem to bother him whether the ball's in or out, up or down. He's just, once he's zoned in, he's swinging the bat extremely well. All I can say is, why are we pitching to him? Because this guy has really been swinging well.
Twins are going to head out on the road for a key series in Toronto. They'd like to do that with some momentum and a series win against the Mariners. has not been the type of homestand the Twins hoped for. 9 games here at home where they played very well. So far just 3 wins, 5 losses, but nevertheless a chance to pick up a series win in advance of a huge road trip.
First series win of the second half, and the Twins need to get it done today. Mike Pelfrey takes the rubber for the Twins, and he needs to grab the bull by the horns.
Lloyd McClendon ejected in the 9th inning last night. We were as confused as everyone else. Even people on the field weren't aware that McClendon had been ejected before he came out onto the field. Last meeting of the year between the Mariners and the Twins. Here's the lineup brought to you by Menards. Marte, the leadoff man, then Kyle Seager, Nelson Cruz, Robinson Cano, Seth Smith, Austin Jackson, Mark Trumbo, Brad Miller, and Jesus Sucre, the backup catcher.
They're going to be facing Big Iron Mike. Mike Pelfrey making his 20th start. You see the numbers for Mike this year. In his last outing, he went 5 innings, 5.1 innings against Pittsburgh. They lost the game. He went 6 innings in the previous start to that against the Angels, and the Twins lost that game. He just needs to get back on track. I think he can set the tone for this Twins team and have some quick innings, get the team back in the dugout. Maybe that offense will come alive.
Northland Ford defense for the Twins in a bit of a different look. Torrey Hunter not in the lineup, so Rosario moves from left to right. Hicks in center, Shane Robinson in left field, Fluke, Escobar, Dozier, Mauer, the infielders, and Kurt Suzuki, the hitting hero, the guy who provided the walk-off single behind the plate. Pelfrey's last win came way back on June 7th against the Brewers. It was an outstanding game, and it fit real well with the rest of his starts for the most part of the first half. A quality start. Beyond that, an outstanding start. He pitched 8 innings, 8 shutout innings, gave up 8 hits, and since then it's really been a struggle. There's been a few effective starts mixed in there, but it's been very disappointing for Mike since the early part of June.
It's been definitely a puzzle. You know, Mike looked like he was going to be on a roll and maybe even being a dominant pitcher in the league the way he was pitching during that stretch, but it's been a battle ever since.
Ketel Marte leads off, and he takes strike 1. Marte 1 for 8, got an infield hit last night in the ball game. Chop over the mound. Pelfrey can't get it. Dozier bare hands, has no play, and it's another infield hit for Marte, who may have hit the bag a little awkwardly. He'll be aboard with an infield hit.
Now the ball chopped off the front of the plate. There's nothing anybody can do about this. Mike Pelfrey is about as tall as any pitcher in the game, and he makes an effort to try to get to it. Once it gets past him, Dozier has no play at all. Ketel gets down the line pretty good. Yeah, it looked like he might have rolled his ankle a little bit. He took his eye off the bag, and hopefully he'll be all right.
He's a speed guy, so Pelfrey will have to keep an eye on him. Kyle Seager, the batter. What a beautiful day. The weather for this homestand has just been great.
Warm summer days, Target Field, great crowds. Looks like another one's gathering here today.
And if it's too warm for you, you just want to flop on the couch with the air conditioning on, you can do that too and watch it on television.
There are places to get out of the sun here at Target Field, and we've found them all.
One strike to Seager. Turns him away with a fastball, 1-1. After the game, Twins make their only trip to Toronto. And we talked back in April about the hope that the Twins would be playing meaningful games in August and September. And Jack, I can't imagine that there's been a bigger series over the last 4.5 years than the one awaiting the Twins in Toronto.
Really, for both teams.
Yeah,
there's a lot at stake, and right now it appears to be the wild card for both the Jays and the Twins. And yeah, there's no doubt about the fact that it's been somewhat tough for Twins fans to watch August and September baseball over the last 4 years, but it's a lot more enjoyable this summer.
1-2 to Seager. Double play grounder. Nice pickup by Dozier. 4-6-3, 2 down. Pelfrey getting his 23rd ground ball double play this year.
Ball hit on the ground, and watch Brian Dozier. This is an athletic move, a little pop-up flip. And he does that to stay under control to make sure he gets the ball to Escobar in a controlled environment. That was just an athletic play, something that Brian is just, you know, he's taken so many ground balls over there. That's what professional players do, and it just came naturally for him.
2 down, and here's Nelson Cruz with the bases empty, and he's done that all
Shocker.
series long. Got a strike, and it ends up being a hit. Just a single this time. Teammate Kyle Gibson second in the league now behind Pelfrey.
Well, that's pretty good when you look at the entire league to have 2 Twins pitchers getting that double play. Now, I guess you can look at it 2 ways. You got base runners on. That's not good.
Right.
But you eliminate 2 outs with 1 pitch.
Here's Robinson Cano. Tap to the left side. Bloof digs out the hop and throws across. And Pelfrey has a scoreless first inning. To win the season series with Seattle 5-2. But to do that, Paul Molitor and the Twins are going to have to find a way to score some runs against a guy who hasn't given the Twins any runs. Menard's batting order for the final game between Seattle and Minnesota. Brian Dozier, Aaron Hicks, Joe Mauer, Miguel Sano, Trevor Plouffe, Eddie Rosario, Shane Robinson, Kurt Suzuki, and Eduardo Escobar.
And they're going to be facing a right-hander, Hisashi Iwakuma. Iwakuma in his last start took the loss, and it was probably one of his worst starts in his career. He allowed a season-high 6 runs, 10 hits, which was a career high. And he's coming off an injury that put him on the DL for quite some time early in the year.
Dozier waiting for that first pitch, and he hooks it foul, lining it hard against the limestone. It's remarkable that the Twins have done as well as they have over the last few years against Seattle, because the Mariners have King Felix Hernandez, whom the Twins did not see in this series, and this guy who has never given up an earned run to the Twins in 33 2/3 innings. 0 runs. Down and away, 1-1.
Yeah, they were quite the 1-2 combination previous years, Felix Hernandez and Iwakuma. And now you think about Taijuan Walker and his addition, and Mike Montgomery pitched last night. They are definitely relying on pitching.
Fouled, hit the edge of the grass and popped up. 1-2 to Dozier. And with Hernandez and with Iwakuma, you could understand why the Mariners felt comfortable trading Michael Pineda to the Yankees. They felt that they were pretty deep in really good pitching. What they needed was some offense. Now, Pineda's on the disabled list, but he's been a good starter for the Yankees. Inside, nearly hit him. 2-2. Dozier, Hicks, and Mauer on the Twins first. Going into the All-Star break, Twins had a couple of walk-off wins. Dozier home runs providing them. Tapper to third. Seager, it's a chest-high hop. One away. So the hope is that last night's walk-off will give the Twins a little bit of a boost as well, at least in the series finale. Northland Ford defense for the Mariners. Across the outfield, Seth Smith, Austin Jackson, and Nelson Cruz. Seager and Miller left side of the infield. That's a pretty much every game occurrence. Marte still in at second base for Cano, who's the designated hitter. Mark Trumbo at first, and Sucre behind the plate.
Well, Ewan Kuma, he's going to mix up everything. He's got all the pitches. Fastball probably being his poorest.
Hicks hits it well, jumping on the first pitch and lining out to Jackson, 2 down.
What made his fastball effective in the past is all his off-speed pitches. He was the kind of guy that, you know, a fastball in the high 80s would look like the mid 90s because of his deception.
2 down, and here's Joe Mauer. His average appeared to be on the climb at the start of this homestand. Looked like it was, well, it certainly was, heading toward the 300 mark, but now Joe's average down to 270. Got down to as low as 250 in June.
Well, he had a couple tough nights back to back, hitless in last night's game, and of course everybody was hitless the night before.
1 strike. Swing and a miss, 2 strikes. Iwakuma loves to spin the baseball and not throw it as hard as it seems he's throwing it.
Talked to Paul Mahler this morning about what is your team, a fastball hitting team or an off-speed hitting team? And he said definitely, especially with the young guys, it's a fastball hitting team. And he mentioned that Mauer being one of the guys that he felt is doing a good job on off-speed pitches.
1-2. And a foul tip. And now Joe's saying that foul tip hit the ground. And here comes Paul Molitor to ask Mike Malinsky to check with the base ump to see whether the third base umpire, Tony Randazzo, can overrule the call at home plate. If the ball was foul tipped and hit the ground, it's a dead ball and it can't be strike 3. Of course it did. And the umpiring crew here apparently has had some issues. Paul Molitor urging Malinsky to check with the third base ump, and he's adamant that he's not going to do that. So it's a strikeout and a 1-2-3 first inning.
Fucking check the ball. I wonder why you didn't fucking check the ball.
with a foul ball that came off the bat of Mauer, hit the dirt. Paul Molitor might have suggested, hey, check the ball, check the ball. He did that, didn't do that either. First pitch, fouled well. Let's take a look at it, and remembering that Malinsky was the umpire who, as it turned out, you could see the ball hit the ground and then up into the glove. Malinsky was the umpire who threw out Lloyd McClendon while he was in the dugout in the 9th inning from 175 feet away. And last night, because we weren't aware of the proper context of what had happened, that ball hit down the line foul. I won't drag you into this, but I was lauding Malinsky for his patience and understanding when in fact he threw Lloyd McClendon out from, as I said, 175 feet away.
Yeah. Shouldn't have his head in the dugout. Should be watching baseball.
2 strikes to the leadoff man here in the second. Seth Smith needs to get a new bat. McClendon basically came out to get his money's worth. If he was going to be ejected from the game and fined, he was at least going to get his 2 cents worth.
And not that it really matters now, but the question that he had with him was on a check swing to Suzuki, and it was clear that he did go around.
Right,
so,
right.
Just like Joe Mauer there, we just showed you evidence that the ball did bounce. They don't always get them right.
To center field. Hicks drifting back. 1 down, and let's find Kevin Gord.
All right, guys, Sanford Health injury report time. Tommy Malone last night after the game felt some discomfort. The Twins learned it's going to be a mild left elbow strain. 15-day disabled list for him. They rotate Ryan Presley to the 60-day disabled list so they can select the contract of 24-year-old Tyler Duffy, a right-handed pitcher who had ascended through the ranks up to AAA Rochester, and Tyler will get his start Wednesday at Toronto. And Paul Molitor talked about it, guys. It's going to be a baptism by fire against that lineup.
A great lineup, and you broadcast a full season of games there. Isn't the Rogers Center one of the great hitters' ballparks in baseball right now?
It's amazing to me how the ball carries there now. And I played there for 2 years.
Right.
And the difference is when the roof is closed, the ball just flies. In the daytime, not so much. The Twins will have a day game tomorrow, but it's a hitter's ballpark, no question.
To his left, Escobar spins, fires. Got him at first. What a play by Escobar, lying on his back in center field.
Similar to the play that he made the other day, only a longer throw this time. Joe Mauer doing a good job on the other side to pick the ball. And that's the kind of effort that they were hoping they'd get out of Escobar. He's got a very, very accurate throwing arm on routine plays, but there's nothing routine about that one. Great play.
And no threat of a challenge from the Seattle dugout. This was a close play. 2 down, and now Mark Trumbo. Swing and a miss. Ball getting away from Suzuki. 1 strike. Well, we'll talk more about the conditions, hitting conditions at the Rogers Center. We'll have 4 games to do that. And by the way, tomorrow it's a really weird thing. It's a national holiday in Canada tomorrow, so we got a day game on a Monday.
They do things a little bit different up there, and you know, I think what they needed to do is follow their European brotherhood and have a Monday kind of day of rest after a weekend to extend that weekend, and they just called it a holiday.
Okay. Down and away, 2-1. Game is sold out. They've been selling a lot of tickets, and
well, they've added a few bodies to their roster that give them hope to be in postseason.
Of course, when you add to the roster, tap or foul, some people are casualties, and in this case, Danny Valencia, who really hit well against left-handed pitching, was designated for assignment with the additions to the roster. 2-2. Pelfrey trying to pitch a clean 1-2-3 second inning. Squirted foul. Pelfrey hoping to pick up win number 6 on the year.
He's doing a good job of getting ahead in counts. Pounding the strike zone early. He did give up a couple hits. That first one to Marte, just a little bleeder.
Inside, 3-2. The thing with Pelfrey that has been particularly exasperating for Mike more than anybody else. 3-2. Strikeout. A good 1-2-3 inning. We'll pick up that thought in the third. But Pelfrey off to a good start through an inning and a half. Super America. Get your Knothole Kids Day vouchers at any local Super America. Last chance to enjoy a hot dog at the ballpark before the Twins hit the road. Miguel Sano takes a strike on the outside corner from Hisashi Iwakuma. 5 prior starts against the Twins, all 5 Seattle wins, and he's got the win in all 5 of those starts. Sano started the 9th inning comeback, whacking the first pitch of the 9th inning into the right field corner for a double.
That was a big hit at the time. It really did kind of spark the dugout, and the Twins somehow manufactured the tying run, and then the exciting go-ahead run hit by Kurt Suzuki.
Half swing, but he went, and he's gone on 3 pitches, 1 down.
We talked about Mike Pelfrey getting ahead of hitters. Iwakuma doing the same thing, being very aggressive, climbing the ladder. Let's watch this last pitch. Catcher Sucre wants the high fastball, and he throws it and hits the glove perfectly. Sano just couldn't lay off.
Trevor Plouffe has not enjoyed his 1-for-11 sequence of at-bats against Iwakuma with 5 strikeouts. And a strike on the outside corner. Rosario will follow.
Iwakuma, as we watch from the center field camera, we see a guy that's pretty darn good at hitting the glove. He doesn't miss by much, and for me, that's pitching. The other thing, a lot of Asian pitchers come over from their countries to play in the U.S., and they always have this little pause at the top of their delivery. And you know, we don't teach that here in the States, but I think it's a good thing for balance.
Plouffe thrown out number 2. And that'll bring up Rosario.
You don't want to be rushing with your lower half, and a lot of times when pitchers get tired, that's what the tendency is your lower body goes out in front of your upper body, but they force them to stay over their back leg and with a little bit of pause, and that kind of puts their whole body into the proper throwing position, and he does a good job of it.
Here is Rosario. Fastball over the inside corner. Rosario intentionally walked in the 9th inning last night, getting Kurt Suzuki to the plate for his heroics. Swing and a foul, and that got Mike Malinsky. That sounded bad.
Yeah, it hit him square in that padding that they have. We talked about it before, about the old chest protector versus the new one
in the American League.
Yeah, but the good news is that hit him square.
0-2 to Rosario. And another quick inning with a pair of strikeouts for Iwakuma.
89-mile-an-hour fastball that seems like 95.
Today, getting at least the starting assignment off. Torrey nice enough to join us from the Twins dugout. Torrey, big road trip coming up for the Twins. It'd be nice to get this one here today, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. You know, just you got Taijuan Walker, who kind of shut us down a little bit. We came back with a great win yesterday, a big hit by Suzuki, and we're trying to get this win today so we can, you know, get 3 out of 4 before we go to Toronto and try to do some damage there.
Torrey, talk a little bit about the opposing pitcher, Hisashi Iwakuma. I know you faced him a lot. What makes him so effective?
Man, just this, you know, he keeps you off balance. I think his windup is a little deceiving. He pauses at the top of the windup, and sometimes he comes on through. You just don't know. He kills your rhythm a little bit, and you know he knows how to change speeds, and he has a split finger slider. His fastball can be a little sneaky. With a two-seamer and explosive fastball, but I looked at it today. You know, he's only throwing like 88, 89. You know, I'm used to him throwing 92, 93 and filthy, but I don't know if anything's wrong with him. But he's looking good so far.
2-1 the count to the leadoff man here in the Seattle third, shortstop Brad Miller. Torrey, fans are interested in this team. Obviously, I think you've sensed that there's a buzz about this team. And everybody wants to know whether the Twins can hang in there through August and through September and get into the playoffs.
I definitely think we will, man. We just, you know, we went through a little funk right there. And that's always for any team. I don't care if it's the best baseball team in the game. They go through little funks like that. And we had ours maybe a week ago. And I think we're starting to come out of it. We're playing good baseball right now. We had a couple base running blunders, you know, this week, and I think Molly addressed that and cleaned it up a little bit. So I definitely think we can keep it going, and And we just got to, keep the faith and stay strong mentally and physically, because August is the dog days. A lot of people don't know about the dog days of August. That's a can of corn.
Rosario with the catch, 1 down.
And a lot of people don't know about the dog days of August, and I definitely think we're going to be strong.
Torrey, Aaron Hicks has given you a whole lot of credit for helping him along the way here, and we're seeing a young kid really develop into quite a baseball player. From your perspective, what's it like, and how did you go about kind of helping him the way you've been helped in the past?
Well, it's been given to me. Of course, I had the Kirby Puckett, the Matt Laughtons, and even Paul Molitor contributed in my career, in the early stages of my career, to kind of get me on the right track, and it's for me to pay it forward. I do it with a lot of players, a lot of young kids that come up. It doesn't even have to be on my team, but Aaron Hicks is one of the guys I'm really trying to bear down on, and he might do some things, and I'm like, what are you doing? And I'm like his dad. So every time I look at him, I put my hand on my hip, and he just put his head down. and I just stare at him, and he put his head down, and but he tries to apply things to his life, and he asks a lot of questions, and you can see it today. He's actually getting better the last couple of days, and here's a play he's going to make. Can of corn.
2 cans of corn. I like that. Hey, how are you doing physically? You had your 40th birthday and all that. You're living on the other side of the 40th birthday. How you feeling?
I felt the same way the day before I turned 40. I feel good, man. And, no injuries, and I feel healthy, feel strong. Molly gave me the day off because he thinks I can't play, day game after night game. But that's okay. I get a chance to watch baseball and cheer the guys on and crack a lot of jokes and get on Molly's nerves, so he will never give me a day off again.
Well, you're going to be qualified for radio now, because Tom Kelly did that with Dan Gladden a lot, where he couldn't play day games after night games.
Here's Robinson chasing one to the corner.
Oh, nice catch.
Robinson, did he catch it? No.
Oh,
he's fine. A dangerous play.
Yeah.
That ball did not have much airtime underneath it, so Robinson got there and nearly made a great catch.
Good effort. He plays hard, man. He's a good little player. He's explosive.
Torrey, one other question for me is, talk to the listeners about how you keep your energy. What is it about this game that every day you come with a smile and you want to win a ball game? It doesn't seem to have changed over your entire career. I know it can get old for a lot of players, but it seems like you enjoy it more today than you ever did.
French vanilla coffee.
All right, I'm getting some. See you later, Nick.
No, actually, you know what? I've come so far, man. I came a long way in my career, and just in life. Where I come from in Palm Bluff, Arkansas, the way I grew up. I appreciate what baseball has done for me and my family. Whether it's financially or just helping me grow as a man and being on my own and paying bills on my own and being out there in the real world. So I appreciate this game. I love this game, and I don't take it for granted. I try to tell these guys, enjoy this game, love the game, have fun, because you don't want to look back years from now and say, I didn't have any fun. I was so serious. It was like work, and I didn't have any fun. So I encourage a lot of guys just to enjoy every moment, learn as much as you can, because you never stop learning in this game. And so when I come here, I want to have great energy. This is my safe haven. Whatever's going on off the field with family, with finances, with whatever it may be, you come here. It's your safe haven. You get a chance to have some fun, enjoy it, and compete on a day-to-day basis. Then you go home. Real world is there.
Sounds to me like there's a coaching career in your future.
So what?
Someday. I'm not saying anywhere near future. I'm saying in your future.
Definitely, man. You know what? I've been thinking about that, being in the front office or being on the field. Now I'm 50-50. I would love to be able to kind of be that buffer between front office and player in the locker room. But at the same time, I would love to give back, and that's the way you can do it, is by coaching and giving back to these youngsters.
Torrey, we thank you for giving us about 10 minutes here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right. Another good inning for Mike Pelfrey. nothing new there. Our carsoup.com trivia question. Which Twins player has the most career hits against the American League West? Well, now, for heaven's sakes.
Well,
Torrey Hunter was in the American League West. So as the question is worded, he faced Seattle and Oakland and all those American League West teams within the division for 5 years when he was with the Angels. So it's got to be Torrey Hunter, right?
Well, they're always trying to trick us by having a guest, and then putting that guest in the.
Okay, now they're clarifying. They're saying as a Twin.
Well, I'm glad they clarified it. It's going to make our job a little more challenging.
But see, here's another part of the trick question. Chop foul. What division were the Twins in before? There were 3 divisions. Twins were in the American League West.
That's right.
So now,
pretty much any Twin.
I'm guessing Mr. Puckett. Wouldn't that make sense?
We're going to have to wait and see.
2 strikes to Shane Robinson. He'll be followed by Kurt Suzuki and Eduardo Escobar.
Iwakuma just doing a tremendous job of getting ahead in counts, throwing strike ones.
Weak grounder left side. Miller committed a couple errors in this series. He makes that play 1 down. 7 up, 7 down. Kurt Suzuki will bat. Kurt admitted after the game last night that he noticed that the Mariners intentionally walked the guy ahead of him to pitch to Suzuki. And the whole sequence was really interesting, just in terms of how the game was managed in the last, really just the last half inning.
Do you ever notice that managers never come out to the mound to ask the pitcher if he wants to intentionally walk anybody? Because you just mentioned something that really is dynamic. Pitchers are put in a situation where they know that the guy, after you intentionally walk in game situations like that, is going to have a little extra giddy up in his bat in a revengeful situation. Another out.
Well, one of the not to be argumentative, but there was a famous incident in the 1984 World Series. Dick Williams goes to the mound, talks to Goose Gossage, and then I think Dick Williams was mic'd at the time, or the umpire was. At any rate, the conversation was the Padre manager to Goose Gossage, you want to walk this guy? Gossage,
no, he wants to go after him.
And then what happened?
And then Gibson hit a home run. And the manager, that's maybe why managers don't ask anymore. I don't know.
Escobar with a drive to right center field. It's off the fence, and Escobar with a double. A good defensive play. And now the first hit for the Twins with 2 outs in the 3rd.
First chance for the Twins with a runner in scoring position. First runner in scoring position, period, in this ball game. Eduardo Escobar, who really struggled in last night's game, gets a nice pitch to handle, and he drives it off the wall in right center. My point is, and I think you understand it, that the hitter is going to get super amped up for you when you walk the guy in front of him, and it puts a little more added pressure on the pitcher to execute after that.
Here's Dozier with the runner in scoring position and 2 out. Takes strike 1. Dozier at a ground ball to 3rd his first time up. But just the whole sequence of events with the ejection, the wild pitches, intentionally walking.
I think Paul really did a good job of playing off their emotion, especially by stealing 3rd with Rosario last night.
Well, and then the Seattle manager, having been tossed, walking up to the first base umpire while he's got a rookie pitcher on the mound, and basically he was icing the free throw shooter.
Yeah, that's what they call it in basketball.
1-1 to Dozier. And the inattentiveness of the Mariners to a speedy runner at second base allowed Rosario to steal 3rd. Dozier takes outside. And with a 3-1 count and a young man who's already thrown 2 wild pitches in the inning, Suzuki stands in the box thinking, I'm not going to get a slider. I'm going to get a fastball.
He's got to get that fastball there. It all worked in the Twins' favor. And for the first time in a while, Brian Dozier's in a favorable count.
2-1. Taken low, and that's the pitch that has been really effective, or off-speed pitches generally been really effective against this Twins lineup. Breaking balls down out of the strike zone. That's a good take by Dozier.
Especially the off-speed breaking ball. Hard to lay off of that. You're taught, and you want to be aggressive as a hitter. You want to drive in that run that's sitting out there at second base. And yet the pitcher understands that. Veteran pitchers more so than young pitchers. And so they're going to try to make you commit to something that isn't even in the strike zone.
Breaking ball, and that hits the corner. Dozier thought it might have been ball 4.
Well, that's that front door slider that Iwakuma threw Dozier earlier. Almost hit Brian in his first at bat. It's part of his game plan. He will throw his breaking ball to both sides of the plate, especially to right-handers.
Full count. And walked him. That'll get Hicks to the plate. First and second, 2 down. Hicks jumped on the first pitch he saw from Iwakuma and lined out to Jackson in center field.
Going back to the first game of this series against Jay Happ, Paul Molitor was talking about Aaron Hicks and the fact that he had 3 hits in the game, but it was in one at bat that he didn't get a hit that he wanted to talk to his manager about. So Paul was impressed that it wasn't necessarily all the good. He wanted to improve and deal with what he can do better.
Side ball 1. Trying to put together a 2-out rally. Tap to the right side. Second baseman Marte is there. That ends it. Escobar left at second. Dozier at first. No score. Headed to the board. Link, your link to what's next, by NorthlandFord.com and your local Northland Ford dealer. And by Grand Casino. The best stories start here. Perfect summer day. No score as we head to the 4th inning. Nelson Cruz will lead off for Seattle. Started to talk a couple innings ago about Pelfrey. And he's gotten to stages of the game like today, and then it's all blown up on him. Right. Where it looks like he's in complete control, and very often the trouble starts second time through the lineup. 1 strike to Cruz. To put it in meteorological terms, when he's on the mound, there are no severe thunderstorm warnings. They just happen. And it's hard.
Well, you want me to try to put this in perspective for you?
Of course. That's why I brought it up.
You ever seen a good golfer that was 7 foot?
No.
Okay. The taller you are, even though baseball loves it because of the angle that they're going to create, their mechanics are going to be out of whack quicker. And that's just the reality of it. And I think what happens for Mike is he might lose a little focus, but more than likely he mechanically might be pulling off a little bit. His legs might tire and he might just start opening up a little bit. And all of a sudden he's behind in counts. Then he tries to regroup and throw the ball over and it's up because he's rushing. A lot of little things can happen quickly.
Newsflash. Nelson Cruz has been retired.
Perfect. Let's do that again.
Here's Robinson Cano. Time now for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag NorthDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile.
Now, the reason I brought up the golfer is because most golfers are relatively short, but they can repeat their swing. Right? Because of the mechanical advantage of being, in my opinion, their eyes are closer to the ball. And the closer you put your eyes to a ball, the more you can hit it in the same spot every time.
I can't argue with that logic. That makes perfect sense.
Well, it's my logic. I don't know if it makes any sense to anybody, but it makes sense to me.
So at 6'2", I've got a perfect excuse for not being a good golfer because my eye.
I think it's your only excuse.
Oh, no. Trust me. I've used many others. Now a weak ground ball right side. Maybe that's some encouragement coming from Pelfrey here. He's getting the middle of the Seattle lineup to hit weak ground balls here. Second time through the lineup. 2 down. That'll bring up Seth Smith. You can spend your summer at Target Field and become a Twins season ticket holder with the new Pick 10 plan. 10 games against the opponents you want to see the Twins beat. Running out of time here as we are now into August. You can enjoy sweet spot benefits exclusive to Twins season ticket holders. You get 10% off game day food and merchandise at Target Field. And you can learn more about package options by visiting twinsbaseball.com/pick10 or by calling 612-33-TWINS. Smith takes ball 1. Smith with a fly to center his first time up.
I think in general when you watch pitchers, the one thing that happens later in ball games is their legs get tired and their body opens up too quickly. You can see their lower body rush a little bit. Their upper body rarely catches up. So to compensate for that, they really fly open with their front shoulder, their lead shoulder, and then the ball gets up. And it happens to everybody. If you play the game long enough, you're going to experience it. But these hot, and Mike just grabbed the ball barehand. He's frustrated with himself.
3-0
by getting behind here. He's only given up 3 hits so far in this game, and 2 of those came in the first inning. 1 was just a little chopper over his head. So he has pitched well so far. Let's just hope that he doesn't have that inning you just talked about.
And a strike 3-1, an important pitch because what we've seen from Pelfrey, belying his veteran status, he loses it, will walk a guy, and then another walk, a hit batter, and it just all blows up in a hurry. 3-1. Mauer stays with it. Pelfrey to the bag, and another 1-2-3 inning. Pelfrey looking sharp so far through 4. Bottom of the fourth inning. Mauer, Sano, and Plouffe to hit for the Twins. The Twins hope to score a run against Hisashi Iwakuma. And a threat in the third, a 2-out double and a walk. But then Iwakuma got Hicks. So the Twins will reboot here in the fourth inning. On the outside corner, a strike. Mauer struck out on a contentious strike 3. Fouled the ball into the dirt. And Sucre had the ball come out of the dirt into his glove. And Mike Malinsky ruled it was strike 3, even though the ball on replay hit the ground. And now 0-2. You know, and not to belabor the point, but behind the umpires, just about everything can be reviewed, replayed. Right. So we can get that right. High fastball gets Mauer. So there's very little chance of something hit behind the umpires, an improper call not being reversed. The concern is always in front of the umpire, the infield. And whether it's a check swing or in the case of the first Mauer at bat, a foul ball that hit the dirt, I think umpires really need to readdress the protocol and regularly, upon request, in fact, ask to make sure.
I think they should just get in a habit to ask.
Right.
And I absolutely agree with what you're saying. In their defense, they don't see what we can see in slow motion instant replay camera. They're reacting to something that's instantaneous. And that's why Paul Mahler got thrown out of a game this year. Last night, Lloyd McClendon got thrown out of a game because all the.
Oh, my. What was the exit velocity on that? Iwakuma almost had his hand ripped off.
Well, to his credit, he's one of the guys that does have a great follow through and squares up to the pitcher, so he can react. Look at his eyes. Yeah, that scares you. I had a few of those in my career, and there's nothing more scary than that.
Oh. 2 down. I mean, from the sound of the bat making contact with the ball to the sound of the ball hitting his glove, a split second. 2 down, and now Plouffe.
So important to have a good follow through. You know, if you're especially if you're going to throw the ball over the middle of the plate to big, strong guys. Chuck and duck.
Here's Trevor Plouffe. And a tapper foul, 1 strike. Anyway, I hope that baseball in the off season decides to do it. Games can be altered with an improper call in the infield, and baseball's left itself vulnerable despite I think a really good replay system. It's important to get these calls right, but there's still a vulnerability in the infield, and one way to take care of that is to insist that the home plate umpire on certain calls might not have the best look at it. That ball came back to Iwakuma at 101.3 miles per hour. 1-1 to Plouffe. And now 2-1.
To your point, I think the whole idea of instant replay and why it was brought in is to get the game called right. Let's make the things right. And for the good or the bad, you want it to be right. And that's why what we're discussing should be implied in the future.
You know, the outset we showed the wild card race in the American League. 6 teams basically in it for 2 spots, discounting the division leaders right now. And it's almost, at least in my mind, I'm sure this is going to go down to the last game of the season. 3-2. So every game that's played now, from now till the end of the season, is going to be like a playoff game. And the replay system, as good as it is, I think can be improved, because you don't want a bad call to cost a team a game needlessly. And in asking a base umpire, what is it, 3 seconds maybe? You're not delaying the game at all. And a called third strike. Plouffe thought it was ball 4, and Iwakuma has a 1-2-3 fourth inning. Our Mountain Dew fans of the game enjoying a beautiful Sunday afternoon. We hope that the Flegel family is enjoying the game just as you are at home. Strike one as Mike Pelfrey pitching to the Mariners here in the fifth, facing Austin Jackson, Mark Trumbo, Brad Miller. You know, it used to be when we would televise games, we knew kind of where people were watching, you know, in living rooms, bedrooms, whatever. But now you can watch baseball outside doing whatever you want to do. I know for a fact, and I didn't mention this earlier because I figured you'd get extraordinarily nervous and it would impact the quality of your broadcast here today.
I tend to get nervous.
I know you do. And I think it showed in Game 7 of the 1991 World Series. But our broadcast here today is being shown in Japan, all over the country of Japan, because of the Seattle starting pitcher.
Konnichiwa.
And I strike out of Jackson. That means
hello.
Okay. Well, yes, Konnichiwa then. One down. Trumbo will bat.
Well, it's been a pitcher's duel. It's another one of those games here at Target Field that we're seeing a couple guys battle it out on the mound, and it could be a mistake that costs one or the other. Mike Pelfrey pitching extremely well.
You don't have to live in Eden Prairie or Japan to watch. You can watch Twins baseball pretty much everywhere. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and more with MLB.TV Premium. It includes a free at-bat 15 subscription. Watch live baseball on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. 1-0 to Trumbo. Fouled away. Trumbo acquired to help generate some more offense. One of the issues for the Mariners has been some of their prospects, their top guys that they were counting on and were going to build around. Mike Zunino, Dustin Ackley, just have not developed offensively the way that the Mariners had hoped. So look what they've done. They've looked outside the organization. First, Robinson Cano, Nelson Cruz acquiring Trumbo for some power.
There's nothing like proven veterans that have a track record. You know what they're going to get year in and year out.
Chop foul.
I think it's such a risk. There's so much anticipation and excitement about young players, but the reality is it's a tough game. And even though they might show glimpses of hope and boy, this guy's a sure lock Hall of Famer at this point in his career, it doesn't always turn out that way.
There's always that caution when you know, just speaking parochially here, you're talking about Sano and Buxton and guys like that. Until they do it up here, there's always some level of doubt or suspicion. They can do whatever they do in AA and AAA, but until it gets done up here.
Well, it's not just, you know, you can do it up here for a year.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at the, you know, the guys that you're going to be household names someday, it's a career that they did it over. And you're allowed usually a mistake, maybe an off year or an off half a year, but consistency is what everybody looks for.
Always thought Tom Kelly had the most measured approach about prospects, people coming up here, and he had rookies of the year that he managed, and he really was unimpressed with that. He said you needed 3 years. Chop to the right side. Dozier has an easy play. Trumbo retired 2 away. You need to see a player for 3 years to have any predictability as to what type of player you can count on them being. 2 down in the 5th. That'll bring up Brad Miller. Pelfrey's looked really good here. He's given up 3 singles and just 3 base runners.
Yep. Come on. Both pitchers really in command at this point.
Miller hit a fly ball to right his first time up. Fouled away. Twins had a losing July as it turned out, a losing June, so you hope that the Twins can somehow get back to the type of play they showed in May when they won 20 games. Swing and a miss. And what did we say throughout May? Yeah, clutch hitting and all that, but the starters gave the team on a nightly basis a real good chance to win, and the Twins have not had that now on a regular basis for quite some time.
Well, Pelfrey certainly on top of his game. That last pitch, a fastball 95, and it just painted the outside corner, hit Suzuki's glove. He's setting out there again.
Chopper right side, and another easy play for Dozier. And as it turns out, an easy inning for Mike Pelfrey.
Here we're in the middle of the Minnesota State Lottery winner circle. 100 scratch-off tickets for Grandma Podine up from Rochester with all her family and friends. Huge Twins fans, guys. Watches every single broadcast, but first time to see him in person. And Tess, you guys set this thing up. What a cool experience to be out here with all these family and friends. How many total?
We have 25 people here, including my grandma, Grandma Marlis Podine. She watches every game. She's the most loyal fan. She loves the Twins. She's ready for a win today.
Yeah. She's ready for a win. She's got the Joe Mauer jersey on, and she's getting circled by a World Series hero and Jack Morris. I'd say life is pretty good. The bonus is 100 scratch-off tickets, guys, from the Minnesota State Lottery.
Well, they're hooting and hollering, and Jesus Sucre is just hollering right now. He got a foul ball somewhere around his left wrist, his catching wrist. Now,
back of the hand.
Back of the hand.
A million bones in there, and they're all little.
But that's an odd place for a catcher to get hit by a foul ball.
It really is. Let's see how it all happened.
Must be on the outside of the glove, it looked like it hit. Well, Jesus Sucre, the backup catcher, Mike Zunino, has also struggled offensively, and
that's his catching hand. Obviously, he's got to use that. He's got to be able to grip a baseball, and he's still rinsing in pain. Remember, they used to bring out this little stainless steel tube full of some kind of
freeze stuff, right?
Yeah, that it freeze you. It was absolutely worthless. It stung your skin because it was cold. It did nothing to do any good to the injury at hand.
But they used it forever.
They did, and I think it was just to justify a trainer going out there.
Popped up behind second base. Rosario sending one a mile in the air, and Miller stayed with it. A wind current pushing it out toward short center, and he had to lunge at the end to make the catch.
Let's look at the wind current replay.
No, he thought he got it right there. Now watch where he ended up catching it, about 40 feet from where he thought he was camping under it.
Well, he stayed with it.
One down, and now Shane Robinson. Hot smash picked up by Seager. Outstanding play by Kyle Seager for out number 2.
It's amazing to me how when pitching is solid and the guys are working quick, how sharp the defense can be. Kyle Seager doing a great job here. This is a major league play. A step and a dive to his left, gets up, plenty of time to throw out a guy that can get down the line pretty quick, and Shane Robinson.
And now Suzuki. 12 errors on the year, starting 25 double plays. And on the outside corner, a fastball.
Iwakuma just not giving up many pitches to hit. Hitting the corners, changing speeds, changing eye level. He's got it going so far.
And Suzuki out in front lifts a pop foul into the seats. of 17. First pitch strikes.
That usually works in a pitcher's advantage.
Especially when strike 2 and strike 3 come right afterwards. A 1, 2, 3, 5th to the 6th in a scoreless game. That in Game 6, Mudcat Grant came back on 2 days rest and pitched a good ball game and picked up a World Series win, as Koufax did the next day. 6th inning, no score, and a strike called on the outside corner to Jesus Sucre. Sucre trying to swing a bat after being dinged in his left hand in the bottom of the 5th. And now up and away, 1-1. Missing the outside corner, 2-1. The most encouraging start for Pelfrey in quite some time, although 5 1/3 innings and just 2 earned runs against the Pirates earlier in this homestand. Not a great start, not a deep start. To Hopper to Escobar. 1 down. And second time through the order, everything has been hit on the ground.
Well, Mike's throwing a lot of fastballs, and for the most part, he's been keeping those fastballs down. They're outer half of the plate fastballs that a lot of the hitters for the Mariners are just kind of trying to roll over. They're pulling off a little bit. And hopefully doing a good job. I've been watching him from the center field camera. Just really doing a good job of hitting Suzuki's glove. Another first pitch strike. Pelfrey and Iwakuma have done a great job of getting ahead of hitters.
Only 3 hits allowed by Pelfrey, 2 of them to this guy, Ketel Marte, an infield hit and an outfield hit. 1-1. Twins rotation is going to have a different look starting in Toronto. Tommy Malone is experiencing some forearm discomfort. And now tough play by Escobar, and there's no play to be made. Marte has another infield hit. He's got 4 hits in the big leagues. 3 of them haven't left the infield. A 1-out single will get Seager to the plate. You can take your family to the ballpark this summer in the Minnesota Twins Our Family section, presented by Fox Sports North. Tickets in the alcohol-free section start at just $10 and include a free Schweigert hot dog and Pepsi. For ticket information, visit foxsportsnorth.com. Click on the upcoming events on the Hot Topics bar. Seager's hit 2 ground balls to Brian Dozier. The first one was turned into a double play. Anthony's a strike.
Going back to Ketel Marte, he's got 3 hits and 3 plate appearances. Infield hits primarily, and we always hear from hitting coaches the importance of putting the ball in play. When you got great speed like he does, you don't always have to hit the ball over the fence. You just have to make sure you hit the ball on the ground so that they don't catch fly balls.
Liner to short.
Ooh.
Safe at first, and Paul Molitor out of the dugout. Pretty sure he wants to take a look at this.
I think he was safe, but Paul's just being precautious here, just in case his guys say no, the throw beat him. It appeared to me that the throw definitely was late, getting back over. So his foot and his leg is in the way. I think he was in there.
Ooh, close. But the Twins won't challenge. 2 down, a runner at first for Nelson Cruz.
You might as well take a good look at it with Cruz coming up. You don't want him to be the guy. Now Mike Pelfrey out of the stretch. Really got to be aware of that. This is the one guy you just don't want to beat you. He has been red hot for the Mariners really all year, but especially in this series. So be careful with Cruz. Cano's DHing, hasn't really hit a ball hard since his return as the designated hitter.
Cruz with a line drive single to center, and then a ground ball to third. And Plouffe will get another chance. He'll have to hurry. Firing on the run. Got him. Good play. That ends the 6th. 6 shutout innings for Mike Pelfrey, but still no score in the game. by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by McDonald's, with $1.69 iced coffees and 69-cent vanilla cones, you can get totes treats excited all summer long at McDonald's. Eduardo Escobar leads off the sixth. He takes strike one. 2 nights ago, the Twins got just one hit against Taijuan Walker. So far today, they've got just one hit. It came off the bat of Escobar. He doubled off the fence in right. It came with 2 outs in the third. Then Dozier drew a walk, but Iwakuma, as he's done through nearly 40 innings now, he doesn't give up many base runners, and when he does, he gets some big outs.
2 different styles of pitchers. Iwakuma, the finesse guy that changes speeds. Although you got to give it to Taijuan Walker. He changed speeds pretty well, too.
Roller headed up the middle, backhanded by Marte. And he gets Escobar on a fine play, 1 down. And that'll go. Now we'll go back to the top of the order and Brian Dozier. Back to our carsoup.com trivia question. I've been surprised before, but I'll be very surprised if it's not Kirby Puckett.
I'm not going to argue that one.
Yep. And Kirby with over 1,000 hits against American League West teams. Back in the day when there were only 2 divisions, the West and the East.
I want you to know that I was in the East.
I know that.
When I wasn't, so he can't put me on that list.
As I recall, you didn't give up many hits to Kirby Puckett or the rest of the Twins for most of your career. 1-0.
Well, when I started doing that, I wanted to just go ahead and join him instead of pitching against him.
And then you went back to the East again.
Yeah.
To Toronto.
Well, I didn't want to be on that stat.
Hey, you're pretty well connected still with the Toronto organization. You played there years ago. You broadcast their games. You're probably looking forward to going there.
I am. It should be a good series.
2-1.
I would certainly enjoy the plane ride a little bit more if the Twins could figure out a way to manufacture a run here. Been a very good pitchers duel. But we've seen one of those already in this series, so.
2-1 to Dozier. He drew a walk in the third, grounded out in the first. A drive to left center field and hit well. It is back and caught on the fence by Austin Jackson.
I thought that was for sure in the pen.
Jackson tracked it, caught it right before making contact with the fence. Just a long out, 2 down.
That high fastball that Dozier does such a good job with. If he could have just got the bat head out a little quicker, he would have pulled that ball. It'd been an easy home run, but in the big gap out there in left center. Great effort by the center fielder, Austin Jackson. Had great reaction time to that ball.
Nice reaction by Iwakuma with a heavy sigh. 2 down and now Hicks.
You get a feeling in this kind of ball game that that's what's going to be the difference maker. One swing of the bat, one mistake pitch, and that was a mistake pitch. Dozier got a cookie there.
Now, is it just my imagination, or when you've come to the Twins booth to broadcast games, don't we have a high percentage of 1-0 games?
Hey, what's up with that? You know, it's supposed to happen for our pitchers.
2-0 to Hicks. Hit hard. Nice backhand pickup by Trumbo. A couple of well hit balls in the 6th, but no base runners for Iwakuma. And we head to the 7th in a scoreless game. the story of the game with nary a run on the board.
Mike Pelfrey with 12 ground ball outs in this game out of the 21 hitters that he's faced. He's been really pitching well down in the zone, getting ahead. Both pitchers doing a great job of getting ahead. Iwakuma, like Dick mentioned, has been just absolutely tough on the Twins over his career, and it continues today. He's been masterful at changing speeds and eye levels, doing everything right.
6 more shutout innings here today for Iwakuma against the Twins. He's now pitched 39 2/3 innings against Minnesota and has not given up an earned run. Here's Robinson Cano to start the 7th, and there's a fastball stuck on the outside corner. Pelfrey hitting the mid-90s with his fastball and locating it well. Dribbled back to the mound, and an easy play for Pelfrey.
Good sink on that fastball right there. Another well-located fastball, another ground ball, another easy out for Mike. No matter what the outcome will be in this game, you got to be impressed with what he's done so far. You saw the movement right there.
Seth Smith. Smith with a fly to center and a ground ball to first. Just 1 for 10 in the series. 80% fastballs and 13% breaking pitches, and just 7% splitters so far.
Yeah, he hasn't thrown too many of those today. Mainly because the results have been very good with his fastball. And he's been running the fastball and keeping it down.
A little upset with himself. He's fallen behind Smith 2-0.
I think what happens, and the reason he's upset, is he felt his body rush right there. He saw that he opened up and didn't finish towards the plate, trying to get an extra breath there in between pitches.
How did you view, as the count now goes 3-0, when a pitching coach or a catcher came to the mound? I know you're one of the most competitive guys I've ever seen, and I wonder whether guys who are like that, whether they almost think of a trip to the mound as a failure of some sort. Strike on the outside corner.
Well,
I mean, a failure to self-correct something,
right.
You know?
Right, and that's what this is a game of. We all understand sometimes, but it's a reminder from somebody to really catch your breath. And you know, let's put it this way, Dick, I could have done a lot better job of appreciating those trips than I did. I didn't like them. I knew that I stunk. I knew I was in trouble. I knew there was a reason they were coming out. It wasn't a good reason ever. But with that being said, there are times where it's needed for you to just take an extra breath. Maybe if you're covering a base or whatever it is, you know, you're struggling, you go 3-0 like Pelfrey did in this count, just to regroup a little bit. You know, it does slow the pace down, but sometimes it's needed.
And he comes back from 3-0
and regroups
and gets to 3-2 and gets another weak ground ball, 2 down. We'll bring up Austin Jackson. Every weeknight, don't miss MLB Whip Around. Fox Sports 1. Highlights, instant analysis, kind of like what Jack Morris just gave you there. And live look-ins from around the league. MLB Whip Around is weeknights at 6 p.m. Central on Fox Sports 1. Streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Jackson the batter. He, like just about everybody else today, 0 for 2. Strike on the outside corner. What a boost it would give this Twins team if they can get to the point where Pelfrey can pitch like this on a predictable, regular basis. His next start will be in Cleveland against the Indians. And if he, and Gibson, and Hughes, and Santana, Tyler Duffy's going to make his major league debut Wednesday in Toronto. If he can, the Twin starters can regularly give them a good chance to win, as Pelfrey has here today, it could be a really fun last 2 months.
It's going to be absolutely needed, and I think it's good to see Mike having this kind of game. He's been working hard in between starts, did a lot of running. He needs that the legs underneath him to go deeper in games like this. But his pitch count in great shape. You can see it right there. 84 pitches through 7. So
2-2.
Working ahead in the count. All the things that you preach to pitchers if you're the pitching coach, it's coming through for Mike Pelfrey today.
And now Wild outside, 3-2. No walks, handful of 3-ball counts, and 4 harmless singles.
And Mike tried to muscle up a little bit on that last fastball, tried to reach back and get a little extra. And you saw him fall off the side of the mound towards the first base side.
Trumbo on deck, 3-2 to Jackson. Crack foul. One thing, if the Twins can get 6-7 innings from their starters on a regular basis, they might be able to back off from a 13-man pitching staff.
For right now, with the addition of Kevin Jepsen from Tampa, who may be the first guy up, seeing as Pelfrey has gotten so far into this game.
Another 3-2. Struck him out. 95 miles per hour. And Pelfrey has a 1-2-3 7. 7 very good innings for Pelfrey as the Twins hope to scratch across a run or two and win this series 3-1. Beautiful day and a beautiful song coming your way. God bless America.
They're going to lead us in the singing of God Bless America. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. America.
Get a chance to pitch hit here before it's over with. As promised earlier in the game, we have selected the Data Strong Fan photo of the game. You can tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag North Data Strong Fan for a chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Joe Mauer will lead things off. against Hisashi Iwakuma. 39 2/3 innings against the Twins without an earned run allowed. Crack foul. Strike. Twins had a long streak that got into the 30s against Scott Downs, a left-handed reliever, and that was one hitter or one inning at a time, stretched out over 47 years it seemed like. But this is impressive because, you know, it's a starter, and he regularly has gone this deep or deeper into a game and has yet to give up an earned run. One strike. And back to the glove of Iwakuma. Mauer's retired, one down. Join us August 16th for a Super America Not Whole Kids Day as the Twins take on the Indians. The first 5,000 fans 14 and under get a TC plush presented by Delta Airlines. You can go to twinsbaseball.com tickets and get your tickets today. Now it's called a plush because you can't call it a teddy bear, but in this case it's a bear, right? It's a little teddy bear.
It's a little TC.
Yeah. Here is Sano. Struck out in the second and then hit one over 100 miles per hour back at Iwakuma, and he caught it. Buckles on a breaking ball, one strike.
This may be the best effort that Iwakuma has shown the Mariners this year. He is doing everything to miss bats.
Half swing. Check. Nope. Strike two. And Sano didn't believe he went from up here. It looked like he went.
I'll let you know in a second. I think he went.
Yep. The wrists broke. Sano struck out in the second on 3 pitches, and now he's behind 0-2. Fouled back. He got a hittable pitch and missed it.
Yeah, Sucre wanted that fastball up in the zone. He struck him out his first plate appearance with that pitch. Then he went up the ladder and he tried to do it again there, but that time just didn't get the ball up.
Breaking ball in the dirt, 1-2.
You saw where Sucre was being the cheerleader there. He gave him the breaking ball and pointed to the dirt. Make sure you bounce it. Do not hang it. Get it down there. I'll block it. The little things that catchers do to help a pitcher with his focus. Now the changeup again, showing that he wants it down.
And it's down and away, 2-2. One hit for the Twins. A 2-out double by Escobar in the third.
Pitch count just phenomenal for Iwakuma.
Yeah.
68 pitches through 6 1/3.
1, 2, 3 innings in every inning but the third. Struck him out. 2 down. That'll bring up Plouffe.
The sink on this pitch. Off speed changeup that just dives at the end. 7th strikeout now for Iwakuma.
Plouffe 0 for 2. Bouncer to short. And he took a called third strike on a 3-2 pitch. Fouled away. When the Twins get to Toronto, they will face David Price in his Toronto debut. The Blue Jays flip-flop R.A. Dickey and David Price. Dickey went today. 7 really good innings against the Royals. Toronto leading that game 3-2, bottom of the 8th right now. And I'm not so sure, with no negative directed toward David Price, who's one of the best pitchers in the game. The way the Twins are swinging it right now, I'm not sure that R.A. Dickey wouldn't have been a tougher challenge for them to try to hit. 1-1. Hook foul. Twins had to change their rotation. Let's take a look at what's next. Followed, or brought to you rather, by Century Link, and it'll be Tyler Duffy making his major league debut against Drew Hutchinson. Price and Burley will bookend that series for Toronto.
You know, quite a good rotation right there for the Jays. Every one of those guys have over 8 wins. 8 or more, I should say.
1-2 to Plouffe. Struck him out. Another 1-2-3 inning for Hisashi Iwakuma. We head to the 8th in a scoreless game. Bank Home Run Porch View ticket and receive a free Schweikert hot dog and Pepsi. Wednesday is Student Day, presented by Rasmussen College. Standing room tickets are just $5 for students, and they include a free ride on Metro Transit. Call 800-33-TWINS. Visit twinsbaseball.com to get your tickets today. Mark Trumbo will lead off the 8th inning against Mike Pelfrey, starting the inning with 87 pitches thrown. He has scattered 4 singles, not walked anybody, not hit anybody. At least the Twins have had a runner at second base. Mariners haven't had that. They got 2 singles in the first, but in between the hits there was a double play grounder. 1-0.
Well, Paul's going to have to be careful through this inning. 88 pitches. Pelfrey's pitched brilliantly, but he's got Trevor May up and throwing, and you know, this is one of those games where you're just hoping a mistake doesn't make the result, especially for your hometown team. But you have a feeling it could be. One pitch could be the difference maker.
1-1. 2-1. It was at about this juncture, as I was watching Game 7 of the 1991 World Series, and I said to those around me, you know, somebody's going to get a broken bat hit. That's going to be the biggest hit of the game. Not going to be a home run. Just didn't sense that was going to happen. I had no idea which team was going to get that broken bat hit, or whether it would come with a runner on. And of course, eventually, Dan Gladden broke his bat.
Got a double.
Hustled his way to a leadoff double, and Gene Larkin eventually followed with the game-winning hit. But that's what makes these games so taut and so fun to watch. 3-1. Pelfrey's had a number of 3-ball counts, and Trumbo gave him a gift there, swinging at ball 4. 6 3-ball counts, but he hasn't walked a man yet.
Yeah, Austin Jackson struck out the last hitter in the bottom of the top of the 7th on a ball that might have been out of the zone, and he gets a little break there from Trumbo. And I got to look at it this way: if he's swinging in a 3-1 count, he's probably going to swing in a 3-2 count. So don't throw the ball dead center.
Up high, and he walked him. A leadoff walk here in the 8th. And shortstop Brad Miller will bat next.
First walk for Mike. And leadoff walks are never good, especially late in close ball games.
Miller has 2 sacrifice bunts. Left-hander Ryan O'Rourke warming up.
O'Rourke has done a great job against left-handers. In May, threw as hard as we've seen him throw in relief last night. He's clocked around 97 on a couple of his fastballs.
Miller 0 for 2, a fly to right and a ground ball to second. Showing no indication of bunting, he takes ball one. Plouffe is in on the edge of the grass at third. Mauer, of course, holding the runner Trumbo, who is not a threat to steal.
You know, Mike has really got to focus. I know this is where he's starting to fatigue a little bit. He got behind the first hitter Trumbo. Now he's behind Miller.
Foul and out of play. 1-1. Disappointing year for Lloyd McClendon and the Mariners. They finished one game out of a playoff spot last year and have not been able to extend any sequence of good games at all this year. McClendon giving signs to Rich Donnelly, the third base coach. Had a chance yesterday to reacquaint himself with Bernie Allen. They were opposing or good athletes from opposing schools in Ohio a long time ago. 2-1, and Miller chops it to second. Dozier to Escobar. Double play.
Just what the doctor ordered right there. He goes ahead and gets that good sink on his fastball. Miller was able to top the ball, and Pelfrey, even though you react to try to field it, the best thing that could have possibly happened is the ball gets by him because it's right at Dozier. Big break right there.
And that'll bring up Jesus Sucre. I would imagine that the main reason that Miller wasn't asked to bunt is because Sucre is hitting behind him. So far this year, Sucre 3 hits in 37 at bats, hitting .081. And now Pelfrey falls behind him 2-0.
Certainly don't want to walk the number 9 hitter. Sucre, a little bit of a sore hand there on that one foul tip behind the plate.
Pulled foul, might have cracked his bat. Apparently not. Sucre hasn't walked this year.
More than likely, this is the last hitter that Mike Pelfrey will face. He's got to just take everything he can. Just really focus his last couple pitches here. Take his time, tie your shoelace if you need to. But really focus on making good pitches here with this last hitter.
2-1. 3-1. Marte on deck. Seventh 3-ball count. One walk allowed by Pelfrey. That's to left.
That'll work.
And Robinson there to make the catch. Another good inning for Pelfrey as again he faces just 3 batters. We still don't have 1 run up on the board.
0-0 still between the Mariners and the Twins. Stay with us after the game for Twins Live, presented by Central. I think we'll break down of the Twins still have not solved Hisashi Iwakuma. Mike Pelfrey, though, toe-to-toe, 8 scoreless innings. Brilliant work by him. We'll get Jack Morris's thoughts on him, as well as Roy Smalley's and the gang on what he brought to the table. We'll take you inside the clubhouse and hear from Paul Molitor as the Twins look to win a series and get momentum before they head to Toronto, guys.
See if they can get a run here in the 8th inning. See if Eddie Rosario tries to drop down a bunt. The Twins have been swinging and missing and not making solid contact against Iwakuma. The first baseman, Trumbo, is almost in the outfield grass.
Well, if he's going to try to bunt, he's going to try to pull it. Seager playing in on the grass. Iwakuma very good at fielding his position. We've seen that already today.
A drive to center. That ball slicing and right to Jackson. Rosario hit the ball hard, but it sliced right back to the center fielder. 1 down. He needed to hook that ball instead of slice it. 1 down. And now Shane Robinson.
I guess we should be just happy with seeing a ball squared up a little bit. He hit it hard.
Robinson with 2 ground balls to the left side. Twins had another stretch like this against Troy Percival. This is about 13 years ago, I suppose. Percival had a scoreless inning streak against the Twins that extended deep into the 30-inning range. 2 strikes to Robinson, and then there was a crazy play at the Metrodome. The Twins ended up beating Percival. I think they were all unearned runs, but Shannon Stewart bunted or hit a chopper and ended up scoring on the play. Miller spins, fires, close play, got him 2 down. Now a couple of bids for hits, but Miller turns in a fine play, and now Kurt Suzuki.
We saw Escobar make a play similar to this earlier in the ball game. Miller gets to the ball, and it takes a little bit longer to plant, but a very strong throw, and just gets Robinson.
Here's Suzuki. Two hops to third. On to the 9th, still no score. Perkins will come into the ball game to pitch the 9th inning. Earlier, he and his wife Alicia hosted a 15s, that's his uniform number, 5K, benefiting the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. Great weather for it. Phil Hughes and Brian Dunsing both ran in the event that finished here at Target Field. There's Alicia. greeting the runners as they arrive. There they are.
Now,
Dunsing.
you mean to tell me those guys ran it all? I just, they might have been in the parking lot.
Now you're not saying they pulled a Rosie Ruiz or anything like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, Perkins coming in here to a scoreless game. He'll pitch the top of the lineup. Outstanding effort by Mike Pelfrey.
Just 4 hits allowed, 3 of those hits by the leadoff guy, Ketel Marte, and 2 of those hits that Marte got were infield hits. So yeah, that was as good as we've seen Pelfrey all year. Unfortunately, he's going to leave with another no decision.
Blow on a soft broken bat line drive makes the catch, 1 away.
Kind of a tough one to time right there. It's like a changeup hit to you. You're expecting the ball to be hit harder at third base, and Trevor did a nice job of a little hang time there.
Seager 0 for 3, hasn't gotten the ball out of the infield. Hit a line drive to Escobar his last time up. Strike 1. One and one. As the starting pitching needs to be more consistent, the bullpen needs to be a little more airtight. The breaking ball over for a strike. When Perkins has struggled since the break as he has, he says it's all about location, both with the fastball and the slider. One and two. Into the Twins dugout.
In my estimation, from my personal experience, location is all about leg strength. And when your legs are strong, your ability to control and command the pitches are a lot better.
On the ground, backhanded. Escobar plants, fires. Escobar's played very well at short, getting a chance to play on successive games. 2 down here in the ninth after shutout innings by Mike Pelfrey.
Mike has just had a great game. He got he ended up with 16 ground balls of the 27 hitters he faced, and that's just a great sign. He got a bunch of double play balls again, ahead of almost all the hitters today. I think that's as good as Pelfrey's pitched all year right there.
Welcome sight for Paul Molitor and Neil Allen. Dangerous hitter now with 2 outs in the ninth. And Perkins misses inside twice, 2-0. Cruz with a single his first time up. Since then, 2 choppers to Trevor Plouffe. He's homered in the last 2 ball games of this series. Inside again, and Perkins scratches at the dirt around his landing area.
Well, it's not such a bad thing to pitch around Cruz. This is the one guy you don't want to see beat you.
To center and deep. A 3-0 pitch breaks the tie. It's 1-0 Seattle.
I don't get it. It's, you know, he's got to understand that that's the guy. That's the guy that he's been red hot. Number 1, number 2, he's strong. Number 3, if he's on first base, he can't. Too good a pitch.
Cruz is now homered in the last 3 games of this series. And now a base hit right field. Robinson Cano with a single. And that'll bring up Seth Smith. Fly to center, 2 ground balls. The Twins are going to have to find a way to do what they did last night. Come up with a couple of late runs, very late runs again. Cano leaves for a pinch runner. Logan Morrison running. Been after a nearly perfect first half, very disappointing second half for Glenn Perkins. Swing and a miss. I mean, you can draw a line at the All-Star break. And there goes the runner Morrison. The pitch dribbled foul. And now 6 outings in the mythical or supposed second half of the season. Perkins has given up runs in 4 of them, including 4 home runs.
Well, it's a non-save situation that he came into, and
fouled away.
Sometimes, you know, that can be an issue. I don't know as though it is, but you know, Paul Molitor brings him in because he doesn't want to waste your closer out in the pen, and he wants to extend the game here and give the offense a chance to win in the bottom half of the inning. That still could happen.
2 strikes. And there's strike 3. A 2-out home run by Nelson Cruz breaks the ice on a mid-80s day in Target Field. Struck him out. Got him. Breaking ball. Got it. Finishes are earned and celebrated. Liner to center. Bourne can't make the play. And Plouffe walks off the Indian. It's the last word. The closing act. The final step. The whole point. We don't remember the start. We never forget the finish. A high fly to left field. See ya. Go on a home run as Trevor Plouffe walks him off. Eduardo Escobar starting the 9th. Strike 1 on the outside corner. Hisashi Iwakuma, who has never given up an earned run to the Twins, now has a 1-0 lead. Escobar has the only hit, a 2-out double in the 3rd. Twins entered the game last night down 2-1 and got a couple of runs to walk off the Mariners. Swing and a miss. 74-mile-an-hour breaking ball. The rally last night started with a first pitch double off the bat of Miguel Sano. He may be a key guy here. The Twins are hoping to get him to the plate in the ninth. 1-2. And defensive swing by Escobar, but he keeps the at bat alive.
Drastic difference in pitching styles, but again, the Mariners in this 4-game series has a starting pitcher go into the 9th inning with allowing only 1 hit and a chance for a shutout in a complete game.
Outside, starting pitching, the exception of the very first game, Jay Happ, who's no longer with the team. It's been outstanding for Seattle. 4 games, and not one of them started by Felix Hernandez. 2-2. And Escobar gets a piece, fighting off some pitches, hoping to get one to hit hard someplace.
Well, he's battling them. This is kind of at bat that Tom Bernansky, Paul Mahler want to see out of him. He's grinding it out, trying to do everything he can to figure out a way to get on base.
That's hit to left. Retreating is Smith. On the track, 1 away. Second drive that the Twins have hit to the wall in left field. 1 down. He's been very tough with a string in excess of 40 innings now without allowing the Twins a run.
Just spot on with his command. He's really done a great job of changing speeds, changing eye locations, up and down in the zone. Breaking ball's been sharp. It's a different style, like I said, than Taijuan Walker showed here a couple games ago, but this is equally an impressive game for the right-hander.
And now Dozier. Strike 1. Dozier hit a drive his last time up. Looked promising, but Austin Jackson caught it right in front of the bullpen fence. 1 strike. A drive to left field. It is high. Back. He's done it again.
What clutch hitting that is right there. Brian Dozier has seen Iwakuma now for the 4th time, and he knew that he was going to get another breaking pitch. That one stayed up just enough that Brian kept his head down. Classic swing right there. Wow.
1 apiece. Each team with a 9th inning home run, and now Aaron Hicks.
That ignites the crowd a little bit.
Many of them still standing as if they can smell blood. Hicks takes a strike. Hicks with a line out and 2 ground outs. He's put the ball in play 3 times. 1-1.
We talked about it earlier that a mistake could decide the game. Now, I'm not sure what Glenn Perkins was thinking when he threw a 3-0 fastball down the middle, but Iwakuma just spun that breaking ball to Dozier, and he left it up and out over the plate, and he has been so spot on this whole game. And the one mistake that it seems like he made, Dozier was able to put a great swing on it, and we're all tied up.
2-1. Hicks bounces it right side. Trumbo's there. And 2 away. That'll bring up Mauer. Excuse me, Morrison is now at first base. Morrison entered the game as a pinch runner for the designated hitter. So he is in the game at first base, and the Mariners will forfeit their designated hitter for the balance of the game.
It didn't seem all that significant at the time, but again, Lloyd McClendon's done a few things in this game that makes you wonder what his thought process is.
Mauer slices a base hit to left, and Sano will have his chance. The Twins held to just one hit through 8 1/3 innings. Dozier hitting the home run. They have scored an earned run against Iwakuma, and now a 2-out single by Mauer, and Sano will come to the plate. Lloyd McClendon to the mound.
There's going to be a pitching change. What a great job by Iwakuma.
Finally relenting, giving up a run to the Twins in the 9th. And now the Twins hoping to pull off their second straight walk-off win. Wild pitches helping the Twins come back with a couple of runs in the 9th.
Yeah, Smith came in and Sano graded his first pitch with a double to right, then a wild pitch. Scored Shane Robinson. Suzuki gets a chance, gets the fastball he's looking for, and gets the game-winning walk-off hit, scoring Eddie Rosario.
The Twins with 5 walk-off hits, counting last night's walk-off single by Kurt Suzuki. It was the first non-home run hit, but the Twins set things up against Smith because of his wild pitches. Rosario stole third. Mauer less of a threat to steal, but Sano at the plate started that rally with a double to right field. It was his slider that twice went to the backstop. And there's a slider again, down and away. Fernando Rodney months ago was removed as the Seattle closer. He had a 1-2-3 8th inning last night, striking out the side. But the Mariners, turning the page, looking to the future, want to get an extended look at this guy as their closer. 2-0.
He's got a little bit of an unorthodox delivery. He's another tall right-hander, but does not use his height. He's more of a sidewinder, kind of a herky-jerky delivery. His slider appears to be the pitch that he likes to go to, and he's got the big sweeping type of slider. It's not a real crisp short slider, it's a big wide one.
There's one over for a strike. 2-1. Sano with 2 strikeouts on a rocket back to the mound, caught by Iwakuma. Bounced foul. 2-2.
Paul Molitor addressed some of the makeup of Miguel Sano when he first came up, saying this kid loves these situations. He's seen it in the minor leagues and he thrives on them. Game on the line. He wants to be the guy at the plate.
Oh, he got a hanging breaking ball and hit it right off the end of the bat.
Just a little bit out in front of it. See where it hit, right off the end of the bat. It was right there in the whooping zone. Man, you can't ask for a pitch better center cut than that one, but just a little over anxious.
He's had a grand total of 80 major league at bats. Struck him out with a breaking ball. Each team with a home run. It's a 1-1 game as we go to the 10th. Jerky all season long. Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Beef your wild side. Scoreless through 8. Each team gets a home run hit by the home run leader for their respective clubs. And now Austin Jackson will lead off the 10th inning. And he'll face Trevor May.
Trevor came in last night, picked up the win in 1 inning of relief. And we notice a real spike in his velocity coming out of the bullpen. Paul Molitor, Terry Ryan both indicated they wanted him in the short term anyway to be the 8th inning guy. Of course, here we are in the 10th, but now they need him to try to extend the game.
It's interesting that May gets the call with the Twins getting Kevin Jepsen. And maybe it's no more than a sign of increasing confidence in Trevor May. The Twins said today that left-hander Tommy Malone's got some forearm discomfort. They put him on the disabled list, and that May had been in the bullpen so long he was not their best candidate to give them a quality start Wednesday in Toronto. So they called up Taylor Rogers.
Well, what it tells me is
I'm sorry, Taylor Duffy.
Yeah. What it tells me is that if May is going to be back in the rotation as a starter, if he's not put in this situation, he's going to have to go down to Rochester to get innings to get built back up.
And he's doing such a good job in the role he's in. A breaking ball bends over, 2 strikes to Jackson. 7 wins on the year, 4 as a starter. And he's discovering that if you do your job, getting wins as a reliever is a lot easier than getting wins as a starter.
Well, unless you're the 3rd inning guy in the bullpen.
1-2. Jackson, Trumbo, and Miller here in the 10th. It's Gutierrez in the on-deck circle.
It was less than 24 hours ago that Trevor May came in relief. And so this is really a good test to see how he responds to back-to-back innings out of the pen. Night game, day game.
Called 3rd strike, 1 down. Now Gutierrez being called back to the dugout. And Jesus Montero will bat. Because Morrison was used as a pinch runner and then moved to first base, this is in essence the pitcher spot in the batting order. And Gutierrez was in the on-deck circle under the assumption that Jackson would get aboard. Once he struck out, it's Jesus Montero. And there are just 2 bench players left for the Mariners. As again they forfeited the DH for the balance of the game. Montero left the game under similar circumstances last night, with Morrison pinch running for him. Drive to right center field. That ball's going to run to the gap. It'll be an extra base hit for Montero, and he will hold up at second with a double. Now what do? You've got Franklin Gutierrez, who's a superior runner to Montero, but you do not have the luxury of having unlimited number of bench players. So Montero apparently will stay in the game with a 1-out double. And now Brad Miller will bat. Gutierrez, instead of pinch running for Montero, has resurfaced in the on-deck circle. He apparently will hit for the catcher, Jesus Sucre. Swing and a miss by Miller. He's 0 for 3. Hit into a double play his last time up.
Well, that means that Lloyd McClendon is going to use all his bench players. Zunino has to come in and catch the bottom half of the inning for Sucre.
Missed the inside corner. 1-1. One and one to Brad Miller. Tap to the right side. Easy play for Dozier. 2 down and Montero up to third. And that's the call. Gutierrez will hit for Sucre. And the remaining bench player, Zunino, will catch the bottom of the 10th and beyond. Gutierrez, as a pinch hitter, 1 for 4. Hit a grand slam home run off the bench. Excuse me, 1 for 5 with a grand slam. After some high cheese and misses, may clock there at 96 miles per hour.
Gutierrez has always been a pretty good fastball hitter, and he went after that first pitch fastball. Trevor's going to have to be careful not to leave one out over the plate.
Fastball at 96, just off the plate. Well, the Twins view May as a starter down the stretch, but I think what they told us here today, he's going to stay right where he is for the balance of this season.
I think so.
If you're going to throw 96, 97 and get some big outs late in the game, why not? Needs to get a big one here. 1-1. Breaking ball, off speed pitch up high.
Well, he's going to find out that out of the pen, control is even more magnified. You've got to be able to get ahead and throw strikes. If you can do that, you can have a lot of fun out there.
High at 97.
Well, if he's going to chase, you might as well climb the ladder, go up there again. He's rearing back and letting it go.
Two and two to Gutierrez. Got him with a breaking ball. What an inning for Trevor May. And the Twins will have a chance with back-to-back walk-off wins if they can score in the 10th. Dozier with a big home run to tie the game in the 9th, and now the Twins trying to find a way to get another one in the 10th and finish this homestand with back-to-back walk-offs. Mentioned Rodney. It's a pretty impressive inning. He I think threw one ball for every strike, but the bottom line was he ended up striking out the side in a scoreless 8th inning. And he'll face Plouffe, Rosario, and Robinson with Zunino now behind the plate. Plouffe, a little bit out of rhythm, of course, missing 3 games because of the birth of his son, Theodore. Has struck out twice here today, 0 for 3.
Rodney's fastball changeup. Not a whole lot of surprises, but he's got effectively wild. You never really know exactly where it's going to be. It's not like you can look in one zone and keyhole it.
Twins trying to beat Rodney in extra innings. He was the losing pitcher in the greatest extra inning game in regular season Twins history, game 163 years ago at the Dome. It was his 4th inning of work. Tigers had no other options. He was beyond his normal workload. And Carlos Gomez scored that dramatic run that sent the Twins into the playoffs. 2-0 to Plouffe. Dangerous pitch to a dangerous hitter. 3-0. Rosario on deck.
Trevor's going to have the green light here, but it wouldn't surprise me if he takes on his own.
A 4-pitch walk to start the 10th. And now Rosario. Nunez will run for Plouffe. Plouffe aboard, relieved now on the bases by Nunez.
Well, let's all hope that we see the helmet come off of Eduardo Nunez, because that means he's going to go around second base and try to get to third.
Couple sacrifice bunts for Rosario. In on the grass at third is Seager. Pulled foul behind Butch Davis. The changeup, and Rosario hooked it foul. Mariners had a chance to bunt in the 8th inning, chose not to, with Miller at the plate and Sucre in the on deck circle. Miller hit into a double play. And a step off. Nunez, 4 steals in 7 tries. Squaring to bunt and taking a ball. Now, Rodney wants the third base umpire to rule as to whether Rosario offered at it. That appeal coming from the mound, not the first of the home plate umpire.
Third base umpire is Tony Randazzo, and he's looking at Rodney like, wait a minute, I'm supposed to wait and get the nod from the home plate umpire.
1-1. Outfield playing very deep all the way around. Rosario squares, lays down a bunt. It'll roll foul. It hit the edge of the grass, and that helped kick it into foul territory. 1-2 now to Rosario. Looked like it was going to crawl up on the grass, but it didn't.
It was going to die in the right zone, quite honestly, and Eddie might have got a base hit out of it, but you can see that it just had that spin that was going to go foul.
It turned out it never did hit the grass. 1-2. So the Twins gave Rosario one swing. He fouled it. Asked him to bunt on strike 2. Man has 24 extra base hits. And he strikes out for the first out of the 10th.
Changeup.
And now Robinson called back, and here comes Torrey Hunter. Hunter used as a pinch hitter for just the 3rd time this year. In the 3rd inning, he was our guest. Talked about his confidence that this team is going to finish the job of getting to the playoffs this year. Up and away, ball 1. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Well, the timing was off. Torrey just missed it. I mean, it looked like he was sitting on the changeup on that swing.
Rodney's changeup really dives at the end. It's got that kind of fall off speed, and it dipped below the bat of Torrey Hunter there.
One and 1 to Hunter. Chopper left side. Miller double clutches and gets Hunter at first. Nunez to second, 2 away. And look who's coming up.
Well, a base hit here, a walk-off hit from Suzuki would give Trevor May the win again, and Suzuki could get another shower full of Gatorade. Maybe they could get Gorgie.
Suzuki ended it last night with a single to left field. Outfield has to shorten up a little bit now with the winning run at second base. Again, the Mariners allowing Nunez to take as large a lead as he wants. Now, Marte cheats over a little bit. A drive to center field. Jackson going back, and he's got it. And we will head to the 11th inning. Suzuki teed off and nearly ended the game. It's still 1-1. Link's beef jerky all season long. Jack Link's beef jerky. Feed your wild side. As disappointing as this homestand might be, we've had a couple of riveting games here with the Twins coming back last night, scoring 2 runs in the 9th to win it, and it sounded like for the second game in a row Kurt Suzuki was going to be the walk-off hero. Let's take a listen. And now to the 11th and the Twins debut of Kevin Jepsen. Acquired for a couple of minor league pitchers. Having a good year with the Rays. And making his Twins debut here in the 11th inning. Rosario moving to left, Hunter to right, Jepsen on the mound, and Nunez now at third. The batter, Ketel Marte. Up and away, ball 1. Marte with 3 hits, 4 in his career. 3 of them have been infield hits. Off the plate, 2-0. Jepsen was described as effectively wild, and the one number that does stand out that is a bit of a concern: 41 2/3 innings pitched, 20 walks, one of those intentional. He falls behind Marte. Up high, 3-0. Marte, then Seager, and then Nelson Cruz. There's a strike. Mike Pelfrey come back from 3-0 a number of times. 8 shutout innings for Pelfrey. And now 3-1 to Marte. 3-2. Marte so far has just stood there for 5 pitches. Missed, and it's a leadoff walk. Jepsen, a veteran, most of his career spent with the Angels, and earlier this year with the Rays. You can see a really good earned run average improvement with the Rays, but now he's going to have to try to pitch around a leadoff walk.
Puts himself in a tough position by walking the leadoff man with good speed, Marte.
Seager's hit into one double play. That was back in the first inning. And Jepson gets ahead with a breaking ball. Nice stop by Suzuki. Marte takes off, and Escobar calling for a replay. What he didn't know is Marte slid well off the bag. And that was a nice catch by Escobar, but he swept the tag around and Marte tumbled off the base.
Yeah, Eduardo did not realize this because he's already spinning around to show the umpire that he had the ball.
No.
And he looked like he was safe there, but had he been able to stay with Marte, he comes off the base.
So the Twins, on that replay, it sure looked inconclusive, and the original call was safe.
Yeah, and I think that's what it's going to stay. I don't know if Paul will even challenge this.
Pretty alert play by Marte. Maybe this angle.
Well, they're going to take a look, so maybe. You
can see his left hand coming off the bag by a couple of feet and finally reaching back with the right hand. There'll be a little visit behind the mound as the umpires review this. Not much to be lost here. The Twins haven't used the challenge yet. And there might be a replay that will show Escobar tagging Marte before the hand.
I just don't see it there.
Contact is right, visible contact right there, and it looks as if the fingers are on the base. Yeah. Now Jepson will get the opportunity to stay loose. Safe is the call. And how about Marte? That ball was blocked by Suzuki and rolled right in front of him, and Marte scampered right away to second base. An aggressive base running move for the rookie. And now he's at second with nobody out. And 1-1 the count to Seager.
Yeah, the heart of the Mariner lineup going to get a crack at trying to score Marte with the go-ahead run.
The call was confirmed. Doesn't just stand, they confirmed it. Hooked foul. And now 1-2.
That's also a wild pitch.
You need to get Seager here for so many reasons. With first base now open, if you can get Seager, you can walk Cruz and take your chances with Morrison. 1-2. 94 miles per hour, and Seager was able to lift it over the screen. Pelfrey pitched around a leadoff walk in the 8th, but he got a ground ball double play in the next at bat. 1-2. That one blocked by Suzuki. Jepson's giving his catcher a workout here in the 11th. 2-2. Jepson 34 strikeouts in 41 2/3 innings. Seager, one of the tougher guys to strike out. 400 at bats. He's only struck out 57 times. And Suzuki got stung by the foul ball. He didn't catch it. And now we'll have another little delay here. Okay. Suzuki left by himself. Two and two will be the count whenever we resume. Jepson to Seager. Down the line, foul.
It could have been called a balk right there. He never stopped. He did not come to the set position, and that's something that I'm sure he's been in the habit of doing. Try to kind of almost quick pitch the runner and the hitter, but you've got to come to some kind of stop. I don't know if he did really get there on the last pitch.
And Suzuki with another pitch in the dirt. He's able to block it, and that Marte is only at second base is a testament to Suzuki making some remarkable blocks.
He's been beat up a little bit with this with his new pitcher, that's for sure. This is a slider down and in, and Suzuki shifts over. He does a great job of doing what he has to do there, especially probably not feeling all that well after the previous foul tip.
Can't walk him here because you want to be able to walk Cruz. Struck him out. Oh, foul ball. Suzuki couldn't hang on to the foul tip. The Twins would like the option of not pitching to Nelson Cruz, but to do that they've got to leave first base open. Fifteen pitches already for Jepson, and he hasn't gotten an out. Three and two to Seager.
Quite a little battle going on here with Seager and Jepson. 10 pitch at bat so far.
After Marte's full count walk. Again on 3 and 2. Not close. And now the Twins have to face Nelson Cruz. 2 walks here in the 11th by Jepson. Against Glenn Perkins in the 9th with 2 outs on a 3-0 pitch. He hit the back wall. The batter's eye in center field. That was just today. Had a first inning single that he drilled up the middle. Breaking ball, ball 1.
Alan Jepson's dug himself a little bit of a hole here, and he's going to have to figure out a way to avoid damage. He needs a ground ball.
Nelson Cruz,
he still has a chance to get out of this.
400 at bats, 1 ground ball double play. 2-0. I mean, that's incredible.
So you're saying he's due?
He has 400 at bats, and he's grounded into 1 double play.
He rarely hits the ball on the ground. He's always lifting the ball. He's got that uppercut swing. Likes to hit the bottom half of the ball. And that's what home run hitters do to get that backspin necessary for the carry.
And he did that on a 3-0 pitch from Perkins. Now it's 2-0 from Jepson. Over the Twins dugout, 2-1. another foul over the Twins dugout. Jepson climbing to the mid-90s. Fean and Dunsing warming up. Cruz will strike out about 1 every 4 times. This is his 5th at bat, and he hasn't struck out yet today. Jepson will try to get him. Blocked again by Suzuki, and now it's a full count to Cruz with Morrison on deck.
Tried to take a little something off that breaking ball, hoping that Cruz was looking for the fastball. And another deep count for Kevin Jepson.
22 pitches already for Jepson. Struck him out. 95 near the outside corner, 1 away. And now Paul Molitor is going to make a change. Dunsing likely coming in to face the left-hand hitting Morrison. Perfect spot for a 3-2 fastball. Jepson described as effectively wild by Terry Ryan when the Twins announced his acquisition. More wild than effective, but he got Cruz and leaves 2 runners on with 1 out in the 11th. Out in his Twins debut. Jepson checks out and Brian Dunsing checks in.
Well, it just might be one hitter for Brian Dunsing. And Paul might just mix and match lefty, lefty, righty, righty. Casey Fean still throwing in the Twins bullpen. So Dunsing may be just asked to get out Morrison, the left-handed hitter here.
Dunsing, as we've said before, has done really well against the first batters he's faced. Just 4 hits, 33 at bats. Had 11 straight scoreless outings, but gave up a couple of runs in his most recent outing against the Pirates. Morrison's first at bat. A deep drive to right center field. On the first pitch, Morrison one-hops the wall. Marte will score. Second runner will be held up. And the Mariners are back in front 2-1. Morrison swinging a bat for the first time last night after missing some games with a bad thumb. He swung very aggressively last night and goes after the first pitch here. And a gapper, putting the Mariners back in front. Now Seth Smith will bat. Twins will have to bring the infield in here, down a run. And Smith will be intentionally walked, and Austin Jackson will hit with the bases full and 1 out. So a rough 11th inning, a rough debut for Kevin Jepsen. He walked the first 2 batters he faced, then struck out Cruz. But now Dunsing gives up a double and an intentional walk to fill the bases. Jackson, a very difficult guy to double up, but a relatively easy guy to strike out. And Dunsing might leave the ball game and give Casey Fien a chance to do just that.
Yep.
Another move here in the 11th, third relief pitcher of the inning. The Twins trying to keep this within reach. And Dunsing faces 2 men, retires neither one. And Casey Fien will go after Austin Jackson when we come back.
At all the bases.
Casey Fien coming into a tough spot, already down a run. Austin Jackson, as we mentioned, not the easiest guy to double up because he runs so well. Casey, more of a pitch to contact guy. Jackson, 320 at bats, 75 strikeouts. That's kind of been his biggest issue offensively.
Okay.
Twins will bring the infield in about halfway. Jackson today has struck out 3 times in a row. Up high, ball 1. An intentional walk, one of 3 walks issued here in the 11th inning. And now Fien falls behind 2-0. Austin Jackson's walked only 20 times in 322 at bats. He's up there to swing. And he swings into the left field corner. It'll score 1. Here comes Rosario's throw from left field. Suzuki can't hang on to it, and it's a 2-run single for Austin Jackson. Well, the first 2 runs this inning charged to Jepsen. Morrison scoring. That run charged to Dunsing. The Twins bullpen having some issues here in the 11th.
You know, fastball right over the heart of the plate. And when you're ahead in the count, as a hitter, you know a fastball's coming. You can keyhole it. That's exactly what Austin Jackson did. He didn't miss it.
Mike Pelfrey with 8 scoreless innings. Mariners got a run on a home run off of Glenn Perkins. Trevor May pitched a Well, it was a good inning, but he did give up a 1-out double, but pitched around it. And now here in the 11th, Jepson walked the first 2 men he faced. A strikeout of Cruz. And then the Mariners go double walk single. And it's 4-1. Foul back, 2 strikes. Pitcher spot is due up next. And Fernando Rodney's got a helmet on because the Mariners forfeited their designated hitter and have used all their bench players. Down and away.
Well, they're having a little fun with Rodney, I'm sure.
The odd thing is his helmet's on straight.
Well, that's because it's got an ear flap, so it's kind of self-guided. Take the ear flap off, give him Dave Winfield's old helmet, and that sucker will be on crooked.
A strikeout of Zunino, and now Miller. And Rodney not even going to the on-deck circle here. Now, if you're Miller, you'd like the on-deck hitter to just go ahead and pretend like he's going to hit. Nino, one of the relief pitchers, mans the on-deck hitter or on-deck circle. Ball hit to right, hit right at Torrey Hunter. 3 runs for the Mariners in the top of the 11th. Tie-breaking RBI double in the 11th. Jackson added 2 more RBIs with a single. And Tom Wilhelmsen will come into the game to try to pick up a save, carrying a 3-run lead.
Wilhelmsen came in, pitched an inning in yesterday's game. He's making his 30th appearance here today.
Escobar, Dozier, Hicks, then the Twins hope 3 more. 4 more, 5, whatever it takes. The 2-run single by Jackson just makes it much more difficult. Obviously, Wilhelmsen, as we've described, a pitcher who at times has his control get the better of him. And he delivers strike 1 to Escobar. You saw the numbers, 19 walks in 34 1/3 innings. That's a fair ball. Past Seager. Escobar rounding first. He'll dig for second. And the Twins start their half of the 11th with a double.
It's been one of those kind of days, so hang on, folks. It's not over yet.
Tremendous movement by Wilhelmsen on the fastball, and Escobar hit it right off the end of the bat, just down the line.
Well, he stayed with the pitch. That ball was definitely running and sinking away, but Escobar was able to throw the hands and hit it where it was pitched.
Dozier tied the game at 1 with a 9th inning home run. And he takes strike 1. Half swing, strike 2. No activity in the Mariner bullpen. This is Wilhelmsen's game to save or lose. 0-2 to Dozier. Inside with a breaking ball. And now 2-2. As erratic as his control can be, Wilhelmsen pretty stingy when it comes to the home run ball. Now, the Mariners got 3 runs without a home run. See what the Twins can do with his leadoff double. And now Zunino to the mound. Twins go to Toronto after the game. And the Mariners will go to Colorado. Here's what happened in the 9th after Nelson Cruz homered in the top of the inning.
Really the only mistake that Sashi Iwakuma made, a little washing machine spinning slider that just sort of hung right there. Bryant did not miss it. Twins just didn't have a whole lot to hit off of Iwakuma.
Oh, and he's being called out on strikes. Dozier tried to check his swing, and then a more urgent matter came up. Trying to avoid getting hit in the face with the pitch. 1 down. You could see the ball might have been ticked, and Zunino caught the ball in the very bottom of his catcher's mitt. 1 down, and now Hicks. Ball 1. So you're imagining how the Twins can get this thing tied up. Hicks, one of the more patient hitters, draws a lot of walks. You can imagine him taking over or filling first base with a walk, and then you need a long ball. Off-speed pitch over, 1-1. Toronto beat Kansas City 5-2. Detroit beat Baltimore 6-1. 1-1 to Hicks. Stroked hard but foul. Sano hoping for a chance. Mauer will hit next, and then Sano would hit. 1-2. 2-2.
A little over an hour ago, we were in the 9th inning. These last 2 innings have taken some time.
He's had a threat after a leadoff walk in the 10th. That's to right center field, but hanging in the air. Cruz comes in, slammed on the brakes, out number 2. Now Mauer needs to reach to set up Sano. Mauer on the day, a single his last time up. 2 batters after Dozier tied the game in the 9th with a home run. Mauer lined a single to left, 1 for 4 on the day. Trying to keep the game alive for the rookie Miguel Sano. And a first pitch strike. Helmson's done a nice job throwing strikes. 13 pitches, 9 strikes. Backhanded by Miller. And the Mariners earn a split in this 4-game series with the Twins. In 11 innings, the Twins end the homestand with a 4-1 loss. Anthony LaPanta, the Twins didn't get much done offensively again with just the 1 run on 4 hits.
It was the story of the end of this series. Seattle pitching dominating the Twins. They do it today in a 4-1 win. We'll show you how Seattle took advantage of the Minnesota bullpen late. We'll hear from Paul Molitor and preview the road trip next on Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink.